What's going on, Jerome's? Kirky with Jerome, Ezekiel Cousins, the Vikings quarterback, in my opinion, has been underrated for years because it feels like the national media jabroni haircut's been pushing their thumb down on the scale and crafting this narrative that Kirk Cousins is this non-clutch, garbage time, stat-stuffing, overpaid quarterback, and it's a narrative that has run through a number of seasons, and Kirk, frankly, has been bucking the trend over the last couple of seasons, including last year, and especially last year, when, frankly, in my opinion, he had the best season of his career, leading the Vikings to 13 wins, as well as the NFC North title. But it still lingers. And of course, the casual fan, like they get all of their information from the national media jabroni haircuts. So obviously they think that Kirk's this overrated goofball as well. But in terms of the people who actually know his peers, that's right. So the other stars, alleged stars, cameos from the documentary quarterback over on Netflix, Patrick Mahomes, perhaps you've heard of him, as well as Marcus Mariota, the former number 2 overall pick. So when they were doing their press tours and stuff, they had the three of them, and they were asked who is the most underrated quarterback in the league, and it's kind of interesting. So Mahomes said, I think it's Kirk. He puts up wins and great stats every year. He did it in Washington and now in Minnesota. If you talk to any other quarterback in the league, they would say the same thing. And Mariota goes, I agree with that. I've been in a few systems and a few coaches, and a lot of tape that we'd watch was that of Kirk. A guy consistently, year in, year out, continues to prove why he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And, of course, Kirk, being humble, deflected it, saying that he paid Mahomes to say all that. But he did say that the respect from his peers means more than from anyone else. And I absolutely do agree with that. And, frankly, I mean, obviously, it's a little bit different when the person's in the room and trying to hype up your guy. And these guys, I'm sure, got to know each other during the press tours and stuff. But that's high praise. That's absolutely high praise, especially from Mahomes, who's been there, done that, got the T-shirt. But also from Mariota, where interesting insight where coaches will cut up plays and look at tape, whether it be a specific type of play, whether it's what they want to see from X, Y, Z. And a lot of it's going to be Kirk because, frankly, Kirk does operate well within the offense. And that's sort of a sweet and sour issue with him, Asian pun intended, but yeah, Kirk does extremely well inside the framework of an offense. Like if you tell him to do ABC, he's going to do ABC. Now, when things get off script, when protection breaks down, when he's forced to improvise, that's not always been his strong suit. But Kirk will operate your offense. That's one of the things that's been great about him. And when Kirk was asked who the most underrated quarterback in the league was, obviously he's not going to say himself because he's Kirk. But it's funny that he said Jimmy Garoppolo. Which is hilarious because for years, everyone and their mom has been trying to send Kirk to San Francisco to reunite with Shanahan and basically steal Jimmy G's job. All that stuff, man. But also from this exchange, like we need to talk about Kirk Cousins' hair. That is one hell of a flow. That is, I mean, the Minnesota hockey community should absolutely adopt him because that is a hockey hair flow. That looks good, man. How does he not bring that back? Just let your soul glow, sort of deal, man. But yeah, just looking at the passing leaders from last season, I feel like it's fair to say that Kirk is underrated because who on this list would you say is underrated or overrated? Well, you go through. Said maybe Geno was underrated, but of course he just did the damn thing last year. You could say that maybe Tua is a little bit underrated when he can stay healthy. You won't say that about Daniel Jones or Derek Carr or Matt Ryan or Mac Jones, certainly not. So, I do think that Kirk is probably the most underrated quarterback in the game. And Kirk last season, like we said, had one of the best seasons of his career, where he was up there in the top 5, top 10 in most statistical categories, as well as you can't sleep on the tying the NFL record for most fourth quarter game-winning drives or comebacks. And when the chips were down and you needed a drive, when you needed a couple plays, Kirk did it well, as well as even though he's facing a career high in pressures and sacks, as well as that defense was very poopy, where it was 31st in the NFL in terms of yards allowed. And like we said, like we keep saying a bunch, Hey, well, what about 4th and 8 to underrate that? Blah, blah, blah. Again, tell me that this game from Kirk Cousins, where he completed over 75% of his passes, threw 2 touchdowns, also ran in a touchdown, by the way. Tell me again how this performance. Tell me again why Kirk was a problem in the wild card game, as opposed to the Dontel defense. I'm listening. I'm waiting, just waiting on it, man. But Kirk, is he ever going to get the respect that he deserves? Probably not. Like, even if the Vikings rip off a couple Super Bowls here in the next couple of seasons, which, let's go, baby. Let's go. I still don't think that Kirk will get the time of day. He's always going to be the Tim Pot Pizza Ranch dictator, and it sort of is what it is. But, like Kirk said, the respect from his peers, that means a lot more than some windbag national media jabroni haircuts or some casual fan or whatever. But your thoughts are thoughts. Is Kirk Cousins the most underrated quarterback in the NFL? Survey says. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.